everybody, and welcome to the Wealthy LaLa show with myself, Laurie Laursen. How does it get any better? You know, I was so pumped after yesterday's recording yesterday's podcast, that I had to just jump right on and create today's. I just felt so alive with possibilities from there. Now, one of the things that I did just shortly to recording this podcast was I actually reached out to someone and said, hey, if there was something you wanted to know, what would you want to know? And I really get that this sort of piggybacks onto the conversation I was having yesterday about how we get addicted to these things that we're in. So the question that I got from a friend was, how can we stop the self-doubt and trust our inner knowing? Okay. So, the awareness that I'm getting with that is that, how do we stop the self-doubt? This is when we just have to decide that we're no longer going to be addicted to self-doubt, that we are just going to allow ourselves to have a new possibility. And what does that look like? This is where, with what I was talking about yesterday, we got to figure out, what is it that we want? So what do we want here? We want to not have self-doubt. So what would that be for you? We want to have confidence. We want to have trust within ourselves. We want to have a sense of knowing in our world that we're connected to everything and that we are a valuable part of this entire planet and the universe that we're in, and that what we know creates greater in this world, even when we're maybe that one person out of 100 that, nobody else thinks this way. Do you know, I know I talked earlier this week too about how, when we have doubt within ourselves, and just my journey, I read that article. It was on the Wednesday podcast. I think it was 117 podcast. Yes, 118 podcast, where I read that article. And what I doubted myself so much with was that, here I'm choosing to do all this alternative stuff, and I'm choosing to go to all these classes, and I'm choosing to spend money that's our family's, I'm not allowed to, or something, that what I spend on is frivolous, that I choose to, go away from my family when my kids were younger, or I'm doing something that's so weird that my husband is being like, okay, I don't know what you're doing. I am not comfortable with this, but I'm not going to tell you no. And I had no knowing for sure why I was doing it, why I was choosing all those classes, why I was going to all those places, why I was meeting all these new people, why I was spending all this money. And there was just a place within me that knew. And I remember saying to myself at one point, if I was the only person that knew this, am I still going to keep choosing it? And I did remember saying yes to myself. Now, I'm not saying that it wasn't without bumps. I'm not saying that I felt like this all of a sudden eternal ongoing confidence, because I didn't. There was still just so much wondering, what the heck is going on here? Because all I'm going on is my gut feeling, and I don't even know what this is going to mean. And so I just kept putting one foot in front of the other, taking another class, doing whatever I did over the last 17 years to get to this place. And now it makes so much sense now. So I wonder, this is what a great place for us to be able to ask questions of ourselves and, be able to say, oh gosh, oh man, I have these questions written down here. Here we go. What I'm choosing, just even if it's a class, is now the time to take this class and see if it's light or heavy. Going to this class, is this going to create something greater for my future? Seeing if it's light or heavy. Is going for this massage, is going for this chiropractor appointment, is taking this meditation retreat, is taking an art class. It could be a photography class. It doesn't even have to be something as like different woo-woo into the spirituality world. It could be just your whole family is a family of doctors and scientific people, and you want to be in art. You want to go take an art class. Like, it could be that kind of a difference. You could be the kind of family that everyone loves horseback riding, and you're like, I'm not into it, and I would rather go ride my motorcycles, or I'm happy sitting in my car that has 4 wheels. Whatever that difference is for you within the world that you live in, I wonder if you could look at yourself as what is so incredibly right about that. You know, yeah, and asking yourself, is something greater being created here that I don't even know yet what it is? Mm. Is something being created here greater that I don't even know what it is yet? And I want, like, this is where, when I tap into the heavy and light, so something that's true for me is light, something that's heavy for me is a lie, okay? Your body might be light liking bananas, my body might be heavy liking bananas, and I get it light to go to Mexico tomorrow. You may never get it light to go to Mexico in your lifetime. So that's why we got to find that sort of inner compass for ourselves as to what is actually true. And then this way, when we come up against those things that we have no proof for, that we have nothing showing outside yet in the world, yet gives us that reassurance that we're on the right path. And you know how you guys, when you're driving, and I love this analogy. So today I drove to Edmonton, or actually St. Albert. So it was about an hour and 15 minutes from my place. Now, I knew, it's like if you're driving in the fog, you just keep driving. You can only see that little bit ahead of you. Or if you're driving across country, or when I left the house, I can't see St. Albert from my house, but I just know I'm going to get there. So I keep driving, and then I get there. We don't all have to know the how. We don't have to know the in between. We can allow the universe to support us in that. And just asking yourself, like, again, say if I was halfway there and I'm like, oh my God, I still can't see St. Albert. Like, look I've driven for 37 minutes and I still don't see St. Albert. I must be going the wrong way. No, what if I just can't see it yet? So truth, am I still choosing and creating greater with where I'm going? Yes. Okay. It's like following, my girlfriend Trudy says, following the breadcrumbs. You just follow the breadcrumbs. You follow the breadcrumbs, and the breadcrumbs can be signs. St. Albert, 100 kilometers. St. Albert, 50 kilometers. St. Albert, 20 kilometers, and then the next thing you know, I'm in St. Albert. So I wonder if you could allow life and the universe, like, this is something that we need to, like, I wasn't raised with religion, so I wasn't I wasn't raised going to church, so I wasn't raised around the idea of having any kind of faith in something. And what I've discovered in my journey is that in order to create greater in our lives, there needs to be something that we believe in, that we are a part of, that is greater than we can possibly imagine. And so, and then referring back, I know I talked yesterday about Dr. Joe Dispenza. One of the 4 things that he knows about people that actually end up create healings in their bodies. So if they heal from cancer, they heal from Parkinson's, they heal from lupus, they heal from strokes, and many other things. It could be hearing, it could be sight, there's a lot of different things that people heal from that choose to do the work that he suggests. And they choose to go to his workshops and allow, that to be something that they choose. And one of the things that he noticed when he actually took the time to interview people over and over and over and over again, the people that healed, was that they believed in something larger than themselves that was watching them, that was aware of them. So it's like me being aware of the divine, and you can call it God, call it the divine, the universe, and it's something greater than ourselves that we are a part of, that it is watching us and living through us. And that when we begin to know and trust that it's there, ask and allow it to contribute to us, it's there. It's there with bells on. It's there like lickety split. It is just so there, having our backs. And so this is something that I've been allowing myself to have the awareness of. And when I do choose my meditations, I will perceive the divine, as like a mother or father, whatever's comfortable for you. I just happen to choose mother, kind of a mother energy, and it's watching me. It's watching me let it know what I would like to create. So in this case, like going back to my friend's question, is, how can we stop the self-doubt and trust our inner knowing? What would it be like? What would it feel like to trust ourselves? Can you think of a moment in your life where you trusted yourself? Like, even if it's just one, okay? And ask, what would it take to duplicate that? What would it take to outcreate that for me? What would it take for me to have more of that in my life? And while you're asking that question, allow yourself to know that the universe, the divine, God, is watching you and going, did you see? Did you see what she's asking for? Let's get on it. She's asking for something. And allow that to contribute to you. Allow the universe, the divine, God, to contribute to you. And what was the other thought that I had too? Is if you don't have an experience of that, like there was literally a time not that long ago where I did not feel like I trusted myself. And so I could have come into this point and be like, well, Laurie, I don't have an experience like that. This is where then, I'd get so excited and ask God, the divine, the universe. I would say, please show me what it's like to trust in myself. Please show me what it's like to have and trust my inner knowing. Please show me what it's what it's like to no longer function from self-doubt. And then allow the universe to contribute to you by showing you things. You might watch a movie, you might be out visiting with friends, and someone shares with you an experience, and you get, how you're with somebody and they share a story, and even though you haven't experienced what they experienced, you get it. Like you get that sense. Well, the universe can deliver that to you too. You can be sitting with a friend, and this friend has this sense of knowing in their universe, and you're like, that, I'll have more of that. Thank you for showing me that, universe. Thank you for showing me that, divine. Thank you for showing me that, God. And please, can I have more of it? And always ask for ease, because why not? Ask for it with ease. So, oh my gosh. And you know what? I'm asking for more and more of that. What would it take to trust myself even greater than I do in this moment? What would it take for me to never function from doubt again? What would it take for me to perceive, know, be, and receive the amazing being that I truly be, and to function and create forward in my life from that? Wow. On that note, people, I am signing off for today. This was a yummy one. Thank you for listening. I'm so incredibly grateful for you. And you know what? I'd love feedback. You guys got any feedback? If there's questions that you guys have, please reach out to me. I have the Wealthy LaLa show, the Wealthy LaLa show on Instagram. Please find me. You can message me on there. I have the Wealthy LaLa with Laurie Laursen on Facebook. It is a closed Facebook group. Please come and play. You just have to ask to be added. The Wealthy LaLa at gmail.com. And then there's my website if you want more information, www.laurie, L-A-U-R-I-E, Larsen, L-A-U-R-S-E-N.com. And thank you again so much for listening. And big hugs to you.